Persuasion is the last completed novel by Jane Austen, written in 1815 to 1816 and published posthumously in 1818. Often considered her most mature work, the novel reflects a quieter, more reflective tone than her earlier comedies of manners. It tells a poignant story of love lost and regained, focusing on regret, social mobility, and the enduring power of emotional constancy. The novel centers around Anne Elliot, a 27-year-old woman from an aristocratic but declining family. 8 years before the story begins, Anne was persuaded to break off her engagement to Captain Wentworth, a young naval officer without fortune or social standing. The decision, encouraged by her family and her trusted family friend Lady Russell, leaves Anne heartbroken but dutiful. As the novel opens, the Elliot family is forced to rent out their ancestral home, Kellynch Hall, due to financial difficulties brought about by Anne's vain and extravagant father, Sir Walter Elliot. The new tenants are Admiral Croft and his wife, who, coincidentally, is Captain Wentworth's sister. When Captain Wentworth returns from the Napoleonic Wars, he is wealthy, successful, and socially respected. His reappearance throws Anne into emotional turmoil as she must face the man she still quietly loves. The narrative unfolds in the seaside towns of Uppercross, Lyme and eventually Bath, with Anne moving in and out of social settings where she and Wentworth awkwardly orbit one another. While Wentworth initially appears indifferent, even flirtatious with others, particularly the Musgroves sisters, Louisa and Henrietta, Anne remains calm and composed, despite her internal heartache. A key turning point occurs in Lyme when Louisa Musgrove suffers a head injury after impulsively leaping from a seawall. Her accident is the result of her romantic boldness and lack of restraint, characteristics that sharply contrast Anne's quiet sensibility. In the aftermath, Wentworth begins to reflect on Anne's steadiness and maturity, subtly drawing him back towards her. In Bath, Anne finds herself courted by her cousin, Mr. William Elliot, the heir to her father's title. Though charming and superficially respectable, Mr. Elliot's motivations are ultimately revealed to be selfish and manipulative. Meanwhile, Wentworth, more introspective and emotionally honest than before, begins to express his true feelings. In one of Austen's most celebrated romantic moments, he writes a heartfelt letter to Anne, confessing that he still loves her. The novel concludes with Anne and Wentworth reconciled, their love strengthened by time, personal growth, and mutual respect. Unlike other Austen heroines, Anne is not young or conventionally flirtatious. Instead, she embodies emotional depth, constancy, and quiet strength. At the heart of Persuasion is the theme of second chances. Austen paints a moving portrait of mature love, showing that mistakes and regrets need not define a life. Anne's decision to end her engagement is not portrayed as foolish, but human, influenced by her values, her upbringing, and her social obligations. The novel asks, what happens if you make the right choice for the wrong reason? And what if fate gives you the chance to reconsider? Another key theme is persuasion itself, the title of the novel. Anne is a character deeply affected by the opinions and pressures of others, and much of her growth comes from learning to listen to her own judgment. Austen uses Anne's journey to explore how easily people can be influenced and how difficult it can be to reclaim agency in a society shaped by rank, wealth, and reputation. Austen also explores social mobility and class anxiety, especially in the post-Napoleonic world. Naval officers like Captain Wentworth, who rose through merit rather than birth, symbolize a shift in societal values. In contrast, the old aristocracy, represented by Sir Walter and Elizabeth Elliot, clings desperately to outdated notions of prestige. Through this contrast, Austen critiques the rigidity of class structures and celebrates the virtues of merit, integrity, and personal achievement. Gender roles are another subtle yet powerful theme. Anne's voice is often overlooked or dismissed, yet she proves to be the wisest and most perceptive character. Austen gently but clearly exposes the limitations placed on women's choices, particularly in matters of love, marriage, and finance. Anne's eventual happiness is not a reward for passivity, but for resilience, intelligence, and emotional courage. The novel also contrasts appearance versus reality. Characters like Mr. Elliot and Sir Walter appear refined and noble, but are revealed to be vain or self-serving. In contrast, Anne and Wentworth, who may not dazzle socially, prove to be the most admirable and honest. Austen's message is clear. True worth lies not in status or charm, but in substance and character. Persuasion has inspired numerous modern adaptations and retellings, both faithful and imaginative. The 1995 and 2007 television films remain fan favorites for their sensitive portrayals of Anne and Wentworth. More recently, the 2022 Netflix adaptation introduced a contemporary tone, attempting to appeal to younger audiences, though its departure from the original tone was divisive among Austen fans. The story's emphasis on quiet emotional endurance and love, rediscovered, has found resonance in modern romantic fiction. The theme of the one who got away and the tension of unresolved affection continue to appear in contemporary novels and films. Authors such as Joanna Trollope and Val McDermid have written updated versions of Austen's novels, bringing Persuasion into modern settings while preserving its emotional core. In many ways, Persuasion feels like Austen's most intimate work, a reflection on lost time, emotional restraint, and the bittersweet hope that even after delay and disappointment, love can still triumph.